Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive here with Gainwell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. You talk about this Washington defense. Well, they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10. And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. 2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards. Probably not how they drew that up. Not at all. Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down. That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. To throw is Daniels. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh. This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last. When you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. You look at this Eagle defense, and they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL. This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Dotson in motion right. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms. But I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover or takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3-and-out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try and run for it with Gainwell. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. These two teams, they met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they're looking for another win here in Washington to take the season sweep. The tight end in motion right. Hurts sets up to throw it. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play. But the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows. Erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Dorrance Armstrong with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They started on the ground with Eckler, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. The tackle by Nakobe Dean.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Brown goes in motion left. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmons. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Running on first down, Eckler. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now a 2nd and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. To the air goes Daniels. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Oh, that's a big let off there on 3rd down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a first down, but for big yardage as well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback because everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Throwing now is Daniels. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He may go. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run here with Gainwell. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. From the 2 now, second and goal. Gainwell. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. He'll drop to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Kenneth Gainwell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Second down and 3. The first carry for Jeremy McNichols. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now third down and 7. Daniels looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. On the return, it's Rodgers. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 39, Hurts. Well, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Dorrance Armstrong. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And McLaurin, the motion man right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Eckler now between the tackles. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The offense on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
This is 2nd and 8. Back to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big play there for Philly. 52 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
They go play action with Hurts. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Gainwell. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the 1st half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. This will be caught by Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver. And it's good yardage and a 1st down to open the drive.
Here's Daniels. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now Daniels. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. Jalen Carter. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Pretty nice gain on the scramble, gets him 12 yards.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Option handoff for Gainwell. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Got a man, it's Brown. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. They'll send the tight end in motion left. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Hurts. And Goddard going to have an Eagles first down as he'll get this up past the 45. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
A run on first down with Shipley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Hurts to throw. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Oh, the sneak gets Hurts, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Eagles are able to add on to that lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. To throw is Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Eckler. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. A very one-sided first half. 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Daniels. His throw complete right side to Bates, the tight end. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down. Daniels. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Jalen Carter. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And they will take over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they'll begin on the ground with Gainwell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It was Clelin Ferrell who was able to rush in and make that tackle.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action. Here's Hurts. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jamin Davis, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up fourth down. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Tressway now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
Isaiah Rodgers on the return. The Eagles kick over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a 2nd and 2. Hurts sets up to throw it. This short throw caught by Goddard. And Goddard going to have an Eagles 1st down as he'll get this up to the 39. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hurts. And that's incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Robinson up the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
And McLaurin, the motion man right. Up the middle with Eckler. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Josh Sweat coming in strong and dropping him behind the line of scrimmage.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now they'll change things up. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's to the longtime Eagle great Zach Ertz.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Daniels. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He finds his man, complete. That's Brown. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. They run behind center with Gainwell. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 5. Again, a run with Gainwell. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Hurts. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 48 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now back to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Dorrance Armstrong getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. And the tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. A.J. Brown, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's complete to Brown, right side. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the
the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first three quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now Daniels. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jalen Carter, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Here's Daniels. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Daniels going to throw for it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Milton Williams just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Daniels looking to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. And here's a handoff to Gainwell. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
2nd and 9 from the 44. And they'll stay on the ground with Gainwell again. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. On the handoff, Gainwell. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 69 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And they'll try and run for it with Gainwell. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now Gainwell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 3rd down, it's Gainwell. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. To throw is Daniels. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's the backup Mariota. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards there on a Washington first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. To throw is Mariota. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Play action, now it's Daniels. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Milton Williams picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
And they take a knee. And they'll indeed take a knee. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Eagles, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year.